What's going on, everyone? It's Corey from the Breakevens, giving you another AFL Supercoach video today. Continuing on with our tier list videos, we did the defenders last night, and unfortunately, as time of recording on the 25th of Feb, Callum Mills is injured and out for the first month with plantar fasciitis. So that sucks. But I still think when he comes back, he can still average what I said he could average. So just keep that in mind. But we've got the midfielders today. It's going to be a bit of a longer one because there is so many people we have to get through. I'll try and go through them a bit quicker so it's not too big of a video. But before we get into that, if there's any videos you may have missed, go make sure you check them out and give them a like and subscribe to the channel for daily AFL Supercoach content this pre-season. And if you are yet to join the Breakevens Supercoach League, use code 266136 to join. Once again, that is code 266136. And hit me up on X at Breakevens Pod or on Facebook, the Breakevens. With that all said and done and out of the way, let's head over to the tier list itself. So here we are with the midfielders. As you can see, I'll be ranking them by average of 120 plus, 115 to 119, 110 to 114, 105 to 109. And if there's anyone here I think will go under 105, I will put them at the bottom tier. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I could be totally wrong, and that's completely fine. Just sharing my thoughts and to you guys just to see if we have if we're on the same wavelength or if we're totally out. Um, just a bit of fun and something different. So let's get cracked on because, as I said, there are a lot of players here. So we'll start with Noah Anderson, someone who I am pretty bullish on, someone who I want to try and get into my side, but find it hard at the moment. Just got announced as the Gold Coast captain. And my thoughts are he's going to be a little bit of a Marcus Stoinis in BBL this season, where he got appointed captain and he had almost like a second breakout season. So I'm going to put Noah Anderson in the 115, 119 category. I think he's more of a 115 than anything, but I think he will step up as captain. Um, the big thing for him is games that they win, he scores really well. Games that that they lose, he scores poorer. Hopefully, find a little bit more consistency there. And Gold Coast hoping to win a few more games, but I think they'll be a bit more same. Let's go to Andy Brayshaw, someone who's been a super consistent scorer for us. Usually he's around that 110, the 115, and I think he stays there. I think he does score more than Noah Anderson, though, or that 115, 116 in there. The cheaper option in that Freo midfield. So I think he has a slight bit of value, but 115, 116 is pretty spot on. Us again, not much I have to say. People might be worried he might spend a little bit of time forward early on, but it's not going to matter. He scores super coach points for fun. So 120 plus is in. Now, next is Zach Butters. And as of probably about 45 minutes ago, prior to recording this, he will be most likely missing round one. They just want to do an arthroscope, one of the scopes on his knee. So it's just very minor surgery. Might be out for a couple weeks, missing round one, most likely, which isn't great because Port don't even play round zero. So it is actually round one where Supercoach actually starts. So we might have to readjust there. I do think, though, when he's back, I still see him going 120. I've said it all preseason. He's just that type of player. I don't think this surgery will do much. I think he'll just come back bigger and stronger that we thought he was going to this season. So straight in there at 120, probably right on the dot for me. Next is Finn Callahan. Um, Definitely a breakout contender. Ideally, if you're starting him, you want him to go 115, but I don't see that happening. Do I think he's going to go 110? I'm going to put him here, 105 to 109. I think for him to go here, it has to be like a 28 last season. I think 105 to 109 is fair. Should find some more midfield minutes this season. Tom Green out early will help with that. But I just don't see 110. If I'm honest, 107 at best. So I'm going to put him in the 105, 109. Clary Oliver. So Clayton Oliver, most years you put him up here. This season, do I put him 115 to 119 or 110 to 114? I'm going to put him here. So I think he might be a 116, 117 type player this season. So he's either here or he's front. I'm going to put him there for now. I might change as things go, but Clary Oliver is looking fully fit. No off-field issues at the moment. Think he returns to his best. Maybe not super coach best because the D's are on a slight decline. Um, it does look like. So I'm going to put him there, nice and comfortable, and probably the fairest place to put him. Next is Isaac Cumming. It's gone from GWS to Adelaide. I didn't have an Adelaide picture of him. So he's in here. I think he just goes straight into under 105. At his price point, he's not a premium. So at his price point, if he goes over 100, that's ideal. And this doesn't mean I don't think he's a selection at all. He could definitely be a selection. But with Rory Laird going back on the halfback, I see coming probably about a 90-ish, 95 at best. So probably not even not 95 at best, probably 85 to 90 is probably fairer. So I still think he's potentially a viable option at his price. But here I've got to put him under 105. Paddy Cripps, I think you've put him straight in for 110 to 114. We're not going to see a crazy average out of Cripps probably ever again, unless their whole midfield falls apart. Is super consistent. 110 to 14, I think sounds spot on. The way I see it, last season, what did he average? I think he averaged about 114 last season, and it was a Brownlow year. So he'd basically have to win the Brownlow again to do better to score 115. So I think 110 to 114 is spot on. Nick Dacos, I'm going to put. Do I put him at 119? I don't think he goes 120. I think he goes right on 119, if I'm being honest. And I just like to point out I am a Collingwood supporter, so this isn't any like bias hate on Collingwood or Nick Dacos. I'm a Collingwood supporter. I'm just being super real with you guys. I think here we got a 119 average. I think that is fair for Nick Dacos playing in that midfield role. Jordan Dawson. Now, see, this all depends on the role. We've seen him play a lot of wing in preseason. They had the last like unofficial practice match where he basically played pure midfield. So he's either going here at 110 or he's going here at 108, 109. I'm going to put him at 110. I just think there is scope for him to do better. This season, his kicking efficiency was down a little bit, so there's some loss of points, and his CBAs were down. I think he might see some more CBA time this season. So I'm just going to put him in at 110. If he has that wing role, then he is more a 105 to 109, but in at 110. Josh Dunkley, this is an interesting one because he is the ultimate team man. Basically, since coming over from the Bulldogs to Brisbane, he's had Neil in there. He's had McCluggage. Berry, and then the guys who sprinkled their way in. You now have the Ashcroft brothers in there, and he's the defensive minded midfielder, so he doesn't really worry about possessions. He's more that tackle in pressure sort of guy, which is still good for Super Coach, but probably it's a difference between putting him here and here. I think he goes about 113. So I'm going to put him in 110, 114, which I think is fair. Ed Richards with Trelaw out for the start of the season. He's going to see a big boost in mid minutes. He showed a lot of promise last season. Can he find that consistency? If he can, he jumps straight into the 110 mark. But because we're just a little bit unsure about his role, I'm going to put him around 109. You know what, I'm going to put him right on 109. I think that's fair, which is still an improvement for him. He does have the scope to go 110 plus, but just that uncertainty. We're not sure what's going to happen when Trelaw comes back. Because you got Bont, you got Libba in there, you got Sanders looking to get more minutes. Matt Kennedy's come over for more mid minutes. So when Trelaw comes back, there's a few people who can roll through there. So 109, I think, is fair. Errol Goulden, now this is a tough one because he has the scope to go into the 115 category, but could also go 114. I'm going to be generous. No, it's not generous. I'm going to be fair and say he goes at 114. I think at best he can go 116, which would probably put him around here-ish. But I'm going to put him right on 114, I think, along with Dunkley. I think that's fair for Goulden. A bit more outside. Mills is out for the first month, though, so does he see some more CBA time? We're not sure, but he does his best work on the outside, getting the ball into the forward 50. So 114 for him. His teammate, Isaac Heaney, now is straight in here. But what's going to happen this season? Again, it probably comes down to Mills when he's back, but I think Heaney is basically the guy that they're going to build that midfield around right now. So you've got Chad Warner, who apparently could be off to Freo. You got Mills there. Who else is in that Sydney midfield? Jesus, I've gone blank on this Sydney midfield. You got Rowbottom, who did very, very well last season. He's looking to continue for more mid minutes there. You got the young guys like Sheldrick potentially to come in and get some game time, some mid time there. I'm going to put him in at 115. I think that's fair. He could go 114 here with Gordon, but I'm going to go Heaney at 114. Ollie Hollands playing off the halfback. From what I've seen, he gets plenty of the ball. He's got the role, he understands it. His kicking lets him down. And for that reason, I think he goes here. I think he's going to average more than Cumming. I think he does go 94. I've got Cumming going at probably about 90 at best. I think Hollands can go at a 94, which at his price is very serviceable. The only worry is his kicking, if I'm being honest. Hayden Young is next. I'm going to put him, so if he's at 115, I'm going to put him here at about 116. We saw a breakout from Young with that move from halfback to the midfield. He's going to continue that. The tackling pressure guy, the run and carry guy through that midfield. I think there's a little bit of natural development here, and I think that's what I'm going off. I don't think, unless they just tap it down to him every time, I don't see a big change with his role. I just think some natural development, another year training in that midfield to work on his craft, I think that's going to help a little bit. So got him about a 116. Now, this is Rory Laird. He has had his head chopped off. I'm going to put him here at probably about 107. Could be going back to the halfback. Will he get majority kick-ins? There is a potential. So he could go 109, maybe even pop to 110, but I'm going to put him at about 107. I think that is fair for him. We know what he can do off that halfback. He's probably going to be the main distributor, but with coming there, it'll be interesting to see how that works. So I'm going to put him at about 107. Zachy Merritt, I'm going to put here at 117 average. Super classy. I'm watching the Geelong Essendon game right now, and he is just destroying that midfield right now. He's getting plenty of it. So nothing's going to change. You know what you're going to get with Merritt anyway. So 117 there. Lockie Neal, I'm going to put here at 116. He's a little bit older, but he's pure class. Ashcroft's coming in. It's not going to affect him too much. They're not going to play him forward. So it's going to be another standard year for Lockie Neal. So 116, I think is fair. Could go 118 up here. It's going to put him at 116. Joy Newcomb, I'm going to put him here because I think he goes 105. I don't think he's a great pick. I don't think he will ever be a great pick. There's a video coming out in the next few days on Joy Newcomb, a player profile, and basically what I found is there hasn't really been an increase in his contested possessions or his disposals or anything. So he needs to average 30 disposals to bump that average up to over 110, unless he hits the scoreboard more. So I think 105 is fair for Newcomb. Darcy Parish, now this is someone who can go all the way up here. I'm going to put him at 107. I think Led might go 108, maybe 107 for Parish if he's fit, which is a big if. Always seems to get injured, but we've seen he can go on runs and runs of just high Supercoach games. He has the big ceiling. His body just lets him down. And what I think is going to happen is he's going to get a few big games in there. Then he's going to get injured halfway through a game, so his average will drop. And I think 107 is fair for Parish. James Peatling's going to come straight in here. I think he averages around that 95 as well. Looking at that mid-forward split at the moment, obviously the more mid-time he gets, the better. But he has shown he can hit the scoreboard and impact there. So 95 is probably best case scenario for James Peatling. Christian Petrarca, rumor is when he comes back, he's going to play a lot of forward. So that does hurt. And the big question will be how much mid-time does he get? If he's pure forward, he comes in here because I still think he can average about 99 as a pure forward. But I am going to put him in here at 108. I just think it's going to take him a while to get that confidence back, and the confidence from Goodwin and the coaching staff to give him bulk minutes in that midfield. He's a competitor. He's going to go hard at it. I just think this season might be a bit of an off season for him, and maybe we look at him a bit cheaper next season. Harley Reid thinks so. I think he jumps in here at 107. Absolute god of the West at the moment. There's high expectations from him. I'm just being genuine here. I think he goes about 107, 108. There is going to be that natural progression, and another year in the system, stronger. He's shrugging off blokes like there's no tomorrow. 108 for Harley Reid, I think is fair. He could go 110, but I don't think he goes any more than that. Matty Rao is someone interesting. If Cripps is going at 100 and 10, probably 111, I think Rao goes about 112. Big criticism of Rao is his outside game, it was non-existent. What I saw last week in the unofficial practice match was he was getting a lot of the ball on the outside. So if he does that, there is some growth there for his average. We know what he does in the contest, but it's just that spread. If he if that's the way that they're going with Rail, he could average very, very highly, and that might mean he might even impact the scoreboard more. So you'll probably have to keep an eye on that. But 112, I think, is pretty fair if he works on that outside game as well. Connor Rosie, I'm going to chuck in at 110. All depends on his body. He could easily be down here at 105. I'm going to put him at 110. If he's ready to go round one and butters out, it's going to give him a bit of a boost early on, which could help his average. If he can stay fit, I think 110 is fair for Rosie. A little bit of natural development. Is an exciting young player, so 110 I think is spot on. Jack Steele, I think he goes 111 here with Cripper. With McRae, it's going to help him because they're not just going to target Steele. Yes, Steele is still that like bull hard under. You got to try and stop him in the contest to stop St Kilda. Only thing is they have McRae there now, so if they want to stop that accumulator who uses the ball really well, then they could go to McRae. But still, I think 111 is super fair for him. He's still going to have a good season, but I don't see it being much higher. Tim Taranto is an interesting one. If he could kick, I'd put him at 120 plus, but he can't kick. I'm going to put him at 114 with Dunkley. I just think that Richmond midfield is just atrocious. So someone has to get the ball. Pressier's already out injured. Hopper's probably going to be injured by the time this comes out in like a week and a half. Or if not, he'll be injured by round 3 anyway. And then you've got the young guys because, you know, your Graham, your Bakers have left. So Taranto's that main guy and going 114 this season could be a great pod for our sides. Tom Green. See, if Taranto's going 114, you basically have to put Tom Green similar. He only plays half a season in terms of super coach. It does well at the start and then tapers off for a while and then finishes strong. He's missing early games as well. So 114 with Taranto. They're basically the same player, except Tom Green's in a better side because both of them can't kick. So 114 is fair there. I believe this is Adam Treloar. I don't know why some of these pictures have cut their heads off, but Treloar I think is going to be here at 109 with Ed Richards. He had probably almost a career best year. His best year in a while, for sure. I think I see a bit of a regression. He's already injured, nursing that knee. He could easily go 110, but I'm going to go 109 for Treloar. I think he's a little bit of a trap for those who might look to get him just because of how well he did last season. So 109, fair, in my opinion. Sam Walsh, I'm going to put at 110, I think, ahead or behind Rosie. I'm going to put behind Rosie just because he's probably more likely to get injured, which is crazy because Rosie is pretty prone as of late. 110 for Walsh. He could go 115 quite easily. What's his body going to do? That's what it comes down to. I think there could be a few games where he's sub just because it's some niggles. Potentially missing early games as well. So 110 for Walsh is probably unders, if I'm being honest, but I'm trying to be fair and genuine here. So that is it. Chad Warner. I think Warner goes at 107. He just needs to find consistency. It is a contract year. Is he off to is it West Coast or is it Fremantle? Apparently, he's off somewhere to the west next season. Send him play forward a little bit. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But with the likes of Heaney in there, Mills when he comes back, I think we're just going to see a slight regression for Warner in super coach terms. I think he gets plenty of the ball that he's still going to get paid the big bucks. Um, but that consistency from him, if he finds it, he goes over 110. If not, he goes around this 107. Will Day, I'm going to put straight in at 115. I think it is a breakout year for Will Day, and I think he becomes our M8 or M7 at best, probably this season. I think he's someone you have to start with if you can fit him in. Obviously, he's a little injury prone. But he's just going to dominate. I can just see it. He's going to do everything in the midfield. He's going to push forward at times. He's still going to push up to the contest, get plenty of the ball. He's going 115 at minimum, so I'm going to put him in there. Now I've just realised I already have Noah Anderson here, so I don't know why I've got him twice. But Will Ashcroft, I'm going in at 112. Who do I have at 112 over here? He's shown what he can do. He's an absolute beast. If he keeps out of suspension, because he almost got suspended, or they haven't looked at it yet in the unofficial game, he was sudden punch-ons everywhere. I think he goes 112. Even in that midfield with Neil and Dunkley, and then McCluggage, his brother, who's going to run through there. Rayner, who might get a run through there. I think we've even seen like Archie or someone even run through there. There's a lot of people trying to get mid minutes. I think this guy is the next generation of the Lions, and I think he's going 112. Anderson, we've already done. Adam Chera, I'm going straight in at 107. Yep. Early on, I had him at 110. I mean, should I put him at 110? See, the thing is, I think Walsh averages more than him. And so if I have Walsh at 110, I got to have him a bit lower. So I put him at 108 with Petrarca. I think he's going to be similar to Harley Reid, if I'm honest. So I am going to put him there at 107. If his body stays fit, he is in for a good season. There's no doubt about that. It's just trying to stay fit. How long is Walsh out? If Walsh is out for a while, and Jagger Smith has done his ACL, so there's even more time there. So maybe he even does better. Maybe I do bump him up, but for the sake of this video, I want to have him at 107. Body needs to stay fit, and he can average 110. LDU, I'm going to put here at 114. I could go 115 or 116 if I really wanted, but I am going to keep him here. I just think definitely Heaney scores more than him, and I'm backing in Will Day. So I'm going to put LDU at 114, which is still very serviceable. A lot of people trying to get minutes in that North Melbourne midfield. You got him, you got Phillips, you got Waterloo when he comes back. You got Shees, we got McKercher trying to roll through there. Who else? I said Phillips. Got Tom Powell, who's looking huge. And there's probably like 7 other. Parker has to run through there as well. I think 114 for LDU. He's still going to be that number one guy. There's going to be a lot of people around there. So there's going to be a lot of points to that North Melbourne midfield. So 114, I think, is spot on. Caleb Sarong, I don't think he goes 120. I think he goes here at about 118, 117. that's what I'm looking at here for Sarong, which is crazy to think that I've got Brayshaw. I got these guys at 117. Have I put Brayshaw too high? I'll have a look at it. But look at this. I got the three Freo midfielders all 115 and above. I think Song goes 118. He's got that ceiling where he's always going to score well. Acceptable to a tag at the moment. Um, how does he work through that? Can he work through that? If he does, then he's going to help his average. But if he struggles, then he goes down around to this 116 mark. So Sarong in there. And Libba is the last player. Does he go 110? No. Does he go? It does more than here, more than here. I'm going to put him at 106. Year older, might see some more forward time potentially, but when he's in that midfield, he's tackling, he's getting the ball. The perfect team man for that midfield. Might lose some minutes because you got Richards trying to go through there as well, and Sanders and Kennedy. So I think 107 for Libba, and probably not in our calculations at the moment. So that is it. I think, yeah, it's just the two guys going 120. These two, Dacos and Sarong, very, very close. And then everyone else is about 117 to 115 here. I might move Neil up to here. I think that's better. Looking here, LDU, Gordon. Yeah, I'll take that. Richards, Trelaw. Yep, I'm pretty happy with this list. So tell me what you think down below. Have I absolutely destroyed this midfield? Like, am I just completely wrong? Or do you think I've done a good job? Let me know down below. But that is going to do it for this video. As I said, it was going to be a bit of a long one just because the pure um, amount of players that go into the midfield. It's a very popular position. It's where you score a whole bunch of your points. So that is why. But that is going to do it. So if you missed any of the other videos, make sure you go check them out, give them a like, and subscribe to the channel for daily AFL Supercoach content this pre-season. If you're yet to join the Breakevens Supercoach League, make sure you do so by using code 266136. It's an open, unlimited league for everyone. We're almost at 200 people in there, which is great. So make sure you do that by using code 266136 and hit me up on X at Breakevens Pod or on Facebook, The Breakevens. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video for you. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And until then, it's bye for now.